Hey you guys, welcome back to Andrea Monroe from head to toe. Okay, you guys, this is a very, very, very emotional for us. So we will be having those moments where we need to use some coping skills and deep breathe and just take our time. Because we even almost 10 years later, guys, we're still grieving. We're still figuring out this thing called life especially without mom. So it still hurts to this day. Time definitely is an additive, but it's also something that you can subtract, because as time progresses, losing a parent, it gets harder because you get older and you start to accomplish more, and you want that parent there. You want that,
especially when you become a parent. Like, I think that was the hardest thing for me. Like, when I first had Nasir, the hospital was such an amazing staff, because they understood. Like, I was like, my mom not here. I was like, is it okay? How many people can I have in the room? And they was like, as long as they not bothering nobody, as many people. And I would never forget all the people that was there. Jessica, Amber, Adobe, Atiwana, Katisha, Janika, Auntie Stacy held my hands, told me I could push. So that was hard for me. And it was harder, like, having Nasir than actually being pregnant, because I was like, that moment, I knew she would have been there telling me to push. And with Winter, she kept coming to me in dreams. And like, I would dream about her like every so often, but literally I had a dream with her literally like a week straight, and I was just like, it gotta be a girl. Like, I already felt it, my son said it, but I would dream about her, and she was telling me like it's gonna be okay, and she was just telling me like to relax and to release her, and I'm like, release her. So when she said that, I was like, it's a girl. And so it only felt right when she told me to release her, is to honor her by giving Winter her name. Like, I couldn't name her Jennifer as a first name, that would be too hard, but I gave her one of her middle names is Jennifer. So definitely becoming a mom is challenging. People have their mom to call, or when they during a 6 weeks process, they have their mom to come help them cook and clean and take care of the baby, give them a break. When they need remedies when the baby's sick and won't stop fussing. So my mom during that process was Janika. So my big sister was an amazing help when I see her. She cut the cord for me. During my 6 weeks, I wasn't supposed to drive. She came to his appointments. She drove all the way from Ferndale to Taylor, and I will never forget one day he was crying. He was colic, and I drove when I wasn't supposed to. And as soon as he heard her voice, he stopped crying. So that definitely made me and Janika relationship closer. She gave me a lot of tips on how to become a parent, to be calm, cool, collected, and feed off what you feel. So I appreciate Janika for that. Thank you, sis. I love you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So because I am not a mom,
but she's an awesome auntie mom.
Thank you. Because I'm not a mom, I am a godmother. I am an auntie mom. Thingy, but from a standpoint of emptiness, and I can say that my attachment to people have changed drastically.
What about trust and love?
Well, I never was a full-blown truster. Like, I just never really was like, yeah, girl, what's your name? Hey, girl, we trust each other. That's never been me.
I'm friendly, but cautious.
Yeah.
Alert, so.
Like, I've never been a person that just, go on, trust people. And so, the thing about it is that...
Because Mama was friendly.
Mama was very friendly.
Funeral.
Oh my God, she was so friendly. But my attachment to people have changed because there has been... It was like when she took her last breath, a part of me died.
Yeah.
And it was like watching that. My attachment to people will never probably ever be the same. Maybe once I have children, I may inherit that attachment purpose again. But it's so easy for me to cut people off because I've experienced the hardest thing in my life.
And our nephew said the same thing. He was like everybody that he encounters with or get close with, they leave, whether they die or something happens. And so I know he has that same issues with, attachments. And so it is hard, but God, like, can nobody ever replace your mom or your dad? Or your kids, for those who buried, their kids. My mom always said that we would bury her. She would never bury us. Her heart couldn't handle it. So, I would say that I remember one of the greatest advice my dad gave me this day my mom passed. He said, you have aunties. He said they would never be your mom, but you have each auntie for different reasons you can go for different advices. You can tell this auntie one thing that you can tell this one, confide in that one. And the same thing with my siblings. Like, it's things that, Janika relates to as far as being a mom and, just different things that me and Dick relate on, and me and Andrea relate on certain things because we're close in age, 2 years apart. We stayed in the same house growing up, and she was mom. My mom was at work. She did my hair, taught me how to dress, and so all those things. So you have those people that kind of can fill in, but your parents can't be replaced. So
when Tupac said, "Ain't no woman alive that can take my mama's place,"
it was real.
That is on the point blank and the period. Like, there is no woman alive that can take my mother's place. I'm grateful for
people have
the mother figures that I have encountered.
Now that's different. Mother figures are different. Just like fathers that are dead, never claim them. Father figures, that's different. But I have great mom figures. Mama Marsha is definitely one of them. Mama Tony is definitely one of them. But again, they're not mama. So it's like, I thank God for those that I could confide in. Like, I really go to Mama Marsha for a lot of advice that I know, or like my mom's closest friends, best friend, like Miss Josephine. I go to her a lot because, like, even though they're not my mom, people that know her well can be like, this what Jen would think, or this what Jen wouldn't like that. So I like that when they would tell me like what she would, her advice would be like, or kind of on that level of her. So that's appreciated.
I think one of the greatest moments too. It's Dena cooked that picture for me right there.
Okay, hold on, you guys.
So I want you guys to be able to see how beautiful my mom was. Yeah. All right, so mine was super gorgeous. I'm gonna bring this to the camera so you guys can see.
So people say I favor her, but I don't really think so. But I think Andrea and Janika favors her the most.
Okay.
And they say my kids favor her, but
so we're gonna set mommy up here so she can be a part of this. But my mom used to tell me when I was little, she used to be like, you are my twin. You look exactly like me. And I'm like, girl, no, I don't. And she would be like, yes, you do. And I'm like, no, I don't. And she'd be like,
the older you get, the more you do.
Girl, every time I look into the mirror, I look exactly like her. And I'm shaped like her. I talk like her. Like, I am so grateful for inheriting. Like, one thing besides her looks that I got from her is her strength and dancing. Oh yeah, she could dance.
Music, like a music head. Pookie, you say a song, say a song or something, a part of a song. She's like, oh, I know who that is. I know that artist. I know where it came from. If they sampled it, like, and she had a passion for talent, like, and people that were gifted. So like, people be like that she going places, or she's gonna be an awesome dancer if she put her mind to it, if she stay focused and practice, or she was like, that's gonna be a practice. So like, she get that from my mom, and faith and prayer. And so
my spiritual sense and my discernment and my spiritual talents and gifts, they definitely come not only from God, but they were birthed through my mom, because my mom was so spiritually inclined.
And hustle.
Honey, I get my hustle from my daddy.
Both.
Now being a hustle, like to hustle people, that's from my mom.
No, I'm talking about like, don't do that.
My mama could hustle you, baby. Okay, she could hustle you, but the hustler in me is from my daddy.
She needs $20 for gas every day, and I'm trying to figure out how big was her tank.
Okay. So, but you guys, it does not get easier, but you learn to cope.
Oh, that's all I was gonna say before we close out, to say like ways that you cope with it, or things that help you get through it. So for me, because I'm taking over her show for a second, counseling, like, people, especially in the Black community, they think like counseling is like a disease. Like, you go to counseling, you crazy, you like. No, seriously, like, it helps. Like, it helps because everybody can't relate. Like I have friends when my mom passed, like I don't know what to say, and that saying nothing was everything. I had people who said stupid things like, "Oh my God, I know how you feel. I lost my dog." You tried it. So therapy definitely helped. I had some positive things. Music. I would listen to songs like today. And last night I had a whole playlist of songs that remind me of my mom that I can remember that we would dance. And she thought, she was Beyonce's daughter or sister or the twin because we were making routines. My mom, we were sitting stuff like that. My mom used to work at a radio station. So like a lot of music before the public knew, we knew like public, what was the name? Public announcement. She put us up on public announcement. John Doe, you know what I'm saying? So things like that. What else? And then the negative thing was like I was drinking a lot because I couldn't cope with it. So like I was waking up to like wine. Even when she was in the hospital in like 1800, like so it was definitely negative things. And like I didn't stray completely away from God or church, but I put back and I started doing it at home, if that makes sense. Like I would pray more at home. Like if I didn't go to church or was more involved in a church, I would do it from the comfort of my home. And then once as time progressed, I started going back because the church that she brought me to is the church that I was still attending. So when she left, it was like a part of me left that church too. If that makes sense. Miss Monroe?
All right. So with me, my coping was drinking at first because I couldn't sleep. Like the last vision in my head, if I closed my eyes, was her taking her last breath. So that was very traumatic for me.
Yeah. And then you didn't ever break down. Perfect Patty.
Yeah, I never had a chance to break down
to grieve.
Because I never had a chance to grieve. I never had a chance to anything because a lot of people don't understand the business side of death. After your parent dies, there is such a business side to it. And so the thing about it is that somebody has to be the appointed person to get the job done. And so I remember me and my mom was in the car one time and I was 16 years old. I'll never forget, we were driving to we lived from the east side of Detroit. We was on the freeway driving to the west side to see family. And so she was like, because she went to everybody's funeral, and she was like, hey, this is how it's gonna pan out when I die. And she seen it. She was like, whenever I pass, whenever the Lord calls me home, she was like, your dad is going to be like whatever y'all want.
And he did.
And she was like, your sisters are going to grieve the hardest. She was like, it's going to be you. She was like, you are the strongest. She was like, you are the most responsible. She was like, nothing to take away from your sister. She was like, but you are going to know exactly what to do. She said, you are literally me all over again. So she was, stop cutting me off, girl. You got to make me mad. Let me talk. So she was like, so when I pass, this is how I want to look. This is who I want to sing. This is what I want to happen. I want to have this. I want to have that. So when she passed, all I could think about was that conversation. And people, if you are a parent, if you're a grandparent, if you have any responsibility to a child that you're raising, whether you're an aunt or uncle and that child is yours, whether you adopt it, whether you inherit it, whatever, you need to have those conversations with your kids because it's very, very traumatic when there's no preparation, whether it's 10, 20, 30 years that later on down the line, you need to have that conversation with your kids because, or whoever you're raising, because they need to know your wishes. So when times is traumatic and times are changing for the worse, they can know what exactly you want done and they're not scrambling trying to figure out what exactly should be done. So yes, it was very hard taking our mom off the ventilator, but we also remember her wishes because she was not a woman of fear. She was a woman of faith. She was not afraid to die, and she knew the Lord. And she would have those conversations with me and say, listen, I'm not afraid to die. If I die, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm good. Me and Jesus is the bestest, okay? So she told us. I was like, Mama, I don't want to have that conversation. She was like, no, I need to have this conversation with you because I'm not going to always be here. So we're gonna stop it right here. We're gonna come right back, but we're gonna give y'all a break and we're gonna pick up exactly where we left off. So you guys, thank you so much for watching Andrea Monroe from head to toe. Okay. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yeah, tell everybody. And they mama. And they mamas. And they mamas. For to be on board with the weekly videos I'm dropping, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.